going to college in like 12 days. So I need to get on that. Hi guys, it's Zoe and welcome back to my channel. So I'm sure you're seeing YouTube flood with back to school videos, and I am also going to hop on that bandwagon because back to school season is honestly like super fun. Like it's this like new year but on like a different level. But since I have just graduated from high school, I figured what better time than now to do a high school advice video. So these are my top 10 takeaways from high school. I tried to come up with some things that weren't what you would hear in every single high school advice video, and these are the things I would find most important. So let's just hop right in. Okay, my first tip is to not underestimate your abilities. So I feel like it's so easy with school to do badly on a couple of tests in a class and then just joke around like, oh, you're dumb or you're stupid. And I feel like that's something I hear people say so often, and it actually really drives me crazy, because if you are willing to put in the effort and the work, then I don't think that people can be considered like stupid as long as you're trying. Maybe one person does better in one class than another, and maybe one class you just can't get, and that's understandable, but it doesn't make you stupid. So don't put yourself down too much, because it makes you unmotivated to keep trying. It's such a better mindset to be in than to like say, oh, I'm dumb, I shouldn't even bother trying. My second tip is to go to like teacher review sessions. At my school, our teachers were required to stay after school for like an extra 30 minutes for you to go and ask them questions. Like, that is what they are there for. And so many of my teachers, I know, if I had a question at like lunch or at break, like they would always be willing to work with me, or if they're busy, then they would find a time to be like, oh, come back at this time. And I think just like attending those extra help sessions, don't be embarrassed about it, because it's going to help you in the long run, so why be embarrassed about it? Something important to remember is that some teachers can be really, really good people while simultaneously being really not the best teacher. When this happens, of course you want to be polite, you want to keep participating in their class, but if you're not feeling like you're learning the material, that's not okay, because that's what you're supposed to be doing, and that's why you come to school. It was hard at times, because especially when they're good people, to say something to them or to say something to somebody in authority, but it's really important that you do, because what you're learning is for you, and it's not fair to you to not learn that. Make sure that you get involved. Show your school spirit. Literally, like, it's fun. Like, if you get in with a group of people that you're maybe a friend group, you can all like do something together. Also, remember to take advantage of the opportunities that your school has. I know for me, like, my sophomore year I did exchange, and it was with a group of people, but nobody else in the group I was particularly friends with. But I went and I actually got really, really close with the person that I exchanged with, so my host sister, and I also got really close to another girl from my school, and I had the opportunity to interact with people that I wouldn't normally interact with, and it was a really great experience. And so taking advantage of those types of things, doing things on your own, don't be afraid to branch out and not do something with your friends, because it could wind up being a really good decision in the long run. Be polite to everyone. I know how hard this is, especially whenever it's like first thing on a Monday morning and you're exhausted, and the last thing you want to do is have a conversation with somebody who maybe you don't normally get along with, or you're not really that close to, or who annoys you. But it will just make your life so much easier knowing that people have a generally good opinion of you. I'm not saying that you need to be besties with every single person you meet, but just like maintaining a positive mindset, being nice to other people, making sure that you're not trying to stir up any drama, that kind of thing, it will just make it so that you are able to focus more on what you're learning rather than being involved in all of this chaos that can sometimes unfold when there is drama. To kind of go along with that, be willing to make new friends and meet new people. I know for me, I only moved to my high school like my freshman year, obviously, but most of the people there had been there their entire lives because I went to an academy. The friend group that I was in my freshman year was so different than the friend group I was in my senior year. So throughout that time, people left, people came back, different people joined the friend group. It's okay to move around and to try new things and to branch out with other people. That's not a bad thing. And if you really have a good foundation with your other friendships as well, it's going to be really easy for you to go back to them, and people want you to be happy. They don't want you to be upset. And that kind of goes along with like the whole being polite to everybody thing. Like, you can move your friend group around, you can change who you're friends with, as long as you don't directly try to kick out anybody or be rude to anybody. You're going to have a lot of people who are there for you whenever you have a hard time. So just remember to go with the flow, try new things, meet new people, and be willing to accept the change when it comes. Okay, this may sound like a silly one, but like, do your homework and try on your homework. Even the stuff that you're not turning in. Homework is there to help you. It's supposed to make it so it's easier whenever you come time to study or you're taking tests or whatever. And the teachers want you to do well, and they give you this homework in hopes that it'll help you to do well. In like an English class, for example, if I did my optional homework the night before, then I was a lot more prepared in class to answer questions and join in the discussion, which then like meant that the teachers liked me and they knew that I was trying. And when it came down to it, and if there was a time whenever like my grade was on the line and it was like almost an A but like not quite, they would bump me up. Like, they would be willing to work with me, and that's because they knew that I was trying. My next tip is to find a way to make your notes look interesting. I'm sure if you're watching this video, you might have seen like Study Blur or Study Tube or Studygram or any of the study in social media, and you can see all the cool different things that people do with their notes. And I honestly just think that making your notes pretty makes it so much easier to like motivate yourself to study, because it's becoming something more than just the content. It's also a way of, and this is going to sound so cheesy, but it's a way of expressing yourself and showing how you think and write and understand things. And when you go back to look at them, you can be like, oh wow, I did that, and that's kind of cool. Next, I want to encourage you to read a book or an article or something that isn't assigned to you at school. I think that doing this just helped me so much, especially in like classes like English or history, when I could reference back to something I'd already read on my own time, and it would be something that would interest me, so I would be better able to remember it anyway. And it also expands your vocabulary and improves your writing skills. And lastly, is to find a good balance between school and like fun stuff. For me, I felt like the first couple years of high school, I definitely did not find that balance. For me, like, I don't know if I want to say luckily, but for me, like, my emphasis was definitely on school. I didn't do a lot of social things. And I think that junior and senior year, whenever I started to do those things a lot more often, even though my classes were definitely harder, I found them so much easier to manage because I wasn't always thinking about them. So when you go out and you're doing something fun, don't think about school. Like, think about what you're doing and enjoy the moment. And it just makes it so much better to have like those few moments when you're not like stressing over something and you're just enjoying your time with your friends, because pretty soon all your friends are going to go to college and then you're going to cry. So that was it for my advice today. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope it was helpful. And if you like this and you want to see lots of college videos that I'm going to be making in the coming weeks, then make sure to subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye!